I work at a local co-op, and I realized something the other day at a members meeting, and I think that this should be shared to people so people can understand that sometimes we are very out of touch with reality with other people. You know, a woman asked a great question. We were inherited a building and we're trying to figure out what to do with this building. And this woman was like, "Well, do the people who work at the co-op already do they make a livable wage?" It was a great question and one that needed to come up. Um, and this woman interrupted and said, "Well, back in the 70s, most of this work was volunteer, you know, and pay has gotten larger." Well, yeah, of course, pay has gotten larger. Look at the economy we're in. So I had to lay up my hand and I was like, I live in income based housing. I do not make a livable wage. And when I say livable wage, I don't mean something fancy. I mean enough money to cover rent, utilities, healthcare, food, everything you need to survive without relying on government assistance. That's what I consider a livable wage. Now, I work at the local co op. I love it and I believe in what we are building. And I'm grateful for our members and for the people who come in. I'm loyal to my manager, I'm loyal to my team, but the reality, there's no way to make more than minimum wage where I work. There's no benefits. I can't work more than 32 hours a week, and in a small town like mine, there aren't many options. But I'm loyal to where I'm at. Even my manager, who doesn't have children, works as many hours as she can, even up until the point where she's volunteering, is on food stamps. So what does that tell you about the system? This argument about food stamps, it drives me crazy because here's the truth. There will never be a true livable wage under the way that this economy is structured. So why are we turning on each other instead of asking the hard questions? Why aren't we looking at Congress, politicians making six-figure salaries, full benefits, cushy retirement packages, while the rest of us struggle just to make rent or to buy groceries? I look around at my town and there's this weird, eerie feeling like of embezzlement, of fraud, money slipping through the cracks. And I looked into it and it's true, there is, but no one's being held accountable. It's crazy. And yet, instead of turning on the people who are actually failing all of us, we turn on one another. We make these videos like people on food stamps. The government shutdown, that's not helping anyone. People stop getting paid, money stops circulating, and businesses will feel it. Families feel it. The economy slows, and still the blame goes to people barely surviving. It's absurd. Why are we turning on one another? Why do we feel the need to judge our neighbors, our coworkers, the single mom or single dad just trying to survive, or even just the family trying to survive? I think about this a lot, and maybe it's easier to blame someone struggling on food stamps than to look at the people creating the problem. I feel as though the truth is clear. The system is designed to keep us struggling while those at the top get richer and more insulated from the reality of our lives. You see, imagine if Congress were to get paid minimum wage, if they had to live the way we live, make the decisions we make, balance rent, food, childcare, medical bills. Maybe the empathy then would shift to guide their choices in a more reasonable direction for the people. Maybe then the policies would reflect the reality of people that they are supposed to serve. But when politics becomes a career, which we all know this is what it's become, about enriching the politicians instead of helping people, empathy dies, and it has. Profit becomes the measure of success, and the economy simply fails. You see, I'm hoping one day soon I will be able to move out of income-based housing. I'm looking at places. I know it'll be soon, and it might be tight, but I'm working hard and I'm doing the best I can, and that's all anyone can do. And it frustrates me watching people fight one another instead of questioning the system. Inflation, low wages, corporate greed, political access, it affects all of us. So before you judge someone on food stamps or on state medical or someone trying to survive on minimum wage, stop. Look at the system, look at the people at the top, and ask yourself, who's really benefiting here, who's really struggling, and what can we do to start demanding change where it can actually matter? Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. or we could be if we stopped fighting each other and started facing the real problem. You see, I saw this woman who made a video complaining about food stamps stopping and how her paychecks, how she pays taxes. I pay taxes too. My manager pays taxes, lots of taxes actually. I think what people are forgetting is the economy we are in does not make it to where many people have a livable wage, so people therefore are dependent. People could be working even a full-time job or a part-time job, but when you calculate to DSHS or the state, your rent and some other things, they calculate it and then they say if whether or not you benefit from having food stamps or not. I don't want to be on government assistance. I would love to be able to work a job where I make enough money, where I can work more, where, there's more access to things, but this is not the world we are living in. So I don't see why we are fighting. I don't see why we are fighting one another rather than fighting the government that is creating this chaos. It makes no sense, and it kind of seems like we have become disconnected with each other, and it's almost like a trying to don't talk about us, don't talk about the Congress. It's almost like trying to, what's the word, trying to make us forget about who truly is at guilt here and at fault. And that's what I see it all over the place. Like, we're so distracted by so much that I want to ask y'all, if you've made it this far, do you really think that we will ever step up to the government? Honestly, because I don't. I think we are deeply, like I said in the last video, we are in a deep mass Stockholm syndrome with the government, and it's sad, but this is my 2 cents and my biased opinion. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way, or some people feel the complete opposite. It is what it is, but we're fighting the good fight together. It's us against the politicians. That's the reality.